What's up, Bay Area? I'm Jonathan Bloom here with Wednesday's edition of our local athlete tracker for the Tokyo Olympics. And once again, we start off with Katie Ledecky. This was the matchup in the 200-meter free. Australia's Ariarne Titmus was the favorite, and sure enough, she took the gold medal here and set an Olympic record. Ledecky came in 5th. But in the 1500 free, a much different story. Ledecky stayed way out in front of the field the whole time and took the gold by a long margin with a time of 15 minutes and 37 seconds. The first thing she did, turned around and gave a big hug to her teammate Erica Sullivan, who won the silver. Lots more swimming ahead for the Bay Area women. Regan Smith, who already has a bronze medal, dives in hoping to grab gold in the 200 fly at 7:28 p.m. Pacific time. But right before that, Abby Weitzel's in the semifinals for the 100 free at 6:53 p.m. You know, she competed in the last Olympics, and when we talked to her back then, she said she's devoted her life to swimming, and it's totally worth it.
It's a lot of hard work and dedication, and it takes up a lot of time, but you know, the rewards are the greatest thing you could ever ask for.
Men's basketball is off to a rocky start. But right now, as we record this, they're trying to fix that as they take on Iran in an overnight game that'll replay at 8:30 p.m. on NBC Sportsnet. Our two Bay Area players, Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors and Portland Trailblazer Damian Lillard, who was born in Oakland. But there's a third Bay Area presence. Warriors coach Steve Kerr is serving as assistant coach for Team USA. He told us he's excited to coach all these players, but he's also glad to be bringing one of his own.
To me, Draymond is the best defensive center in the world, even though he's not really our center. When he does play center, he's amazing defensively, so we're going to need him in Tokyo.
Okay, here are some results from a busy Tuesday for our local athletes. Men's volleyball, Stanford's Shoji brothers helped carry the U.S. to a victory over Tunisia, 3-1 in the preliminary round. In cycling, Kate Courtney finished 15th in the women's mountain bike. All 3 medals went to Switzerland. And in soccer, the U.S. women's team tied with Australia. Nobody scored a goal. That sometimes happens in soccer. So they'll now advance to the quarterfinal. 6 Bay Area athletes on that team. In gymnastics, Stanford's Brody Malone competing in the men's all-around in the wee hours of the morning. The replay starting at 5 on NBC. Here he is in the team event where the U.S. did not fare so well, but he is pumped for the all-around, and he said so on his Instagram, saying he's proud of his team, asking for prayers and support. Fencing gets a Bay Area showing in the women's team foil event with Sabrina Macialas. Yes, that Macialas family. She actually taught us a thing or two about fencing when we met her a couple of weeks ago, and let me tell you, it is not easy. So is it any easier if your dad is world-famous fencing coach Greg Macialas? She told us it's complicated.
I played with swords like my entire life. Like I remember being a kid, like a toddler, and my dad had like different swords lying around the house. Even though we had so many challenges along the way, I wouldn't be able to be here without him. So who knows where I'd be if I didn't have my dad as my coach.
And in rowing, Cal's Kara Kohler advances to the finals in women's single sculls. She'll compete for gold starting at 6:50 p.m. on CNBC. It's a busy day ahead for our local athletes, so here's the link to keep track of how they're all doing. We'll be right here keeping you updated as the quest to bring home Olympic glory continues in Tokyo.